So, hi everyone. My name is Azura. I'm currently the head of Early Childhood Education Program in Bensar CBC College, Malaysia. So, yeah, a month or two ago, I found this, came across this global discussion on redefining education 2.0. It really catch my eyes at time because the topic is glorified babysitter. Okay, and I never planned to join in. I just want to be a silent participant. As I said just now, I was forced to switch on my camera that day, and there you go. I mean, like, I can't keep myself silent also that day because the topic is so thought provoking. Okay, so for all of you who are new here, so get ready. You're gonna get asked, and you need to get engaged because this is not a normal session. It's a lot of discussion, which is what I love about this group of people. Okay, but don't worry. Pro Campus is a bunch of cool and wonderful education superhero, and I am honored to be chosen as the first guest host. All right. So thanks, Gabriel, and thanks, Pro Campus team. Okay. For everyone who's attending this session for the first time, Redefining Education is a platform set up by Score Campus to discuss and dig issues related to education and not to be dissatisfied or complaining together, but rather finding a solution and think about what we can do about it. Okay, so back on why we are here today. As per our last session, we agreed on discussing what's the craziest thing parents say. Okay, I've been an educator for the last 2 decades, and I have a wonderful 11 years old girl. So it's completely different, You are, like to juggle both roles. I have like two faces of role here. I'm a mom and I'm an educator, and it really don't really gel together actually because mom have expectation. But later we discuss about it. Okay, so. Before we start, can we do a little ice breaking because I see quite a few new faces today. And Gabriel, should you start? You should introduce yourself. Yeah. Yep.
Hi, my name is Gabriel. People have said that I'm the most best looking among all the people here.
All right.
Okay. Katrina, I do not appreciate you scratching when I say that, but anyway. Yes, I'm the founder of Score Campus. And I put together this group called Redefining Education, Education Superheroes, purely because I feel that it is time for educators to come together. And I think it is time for us to realize that together we are a lot stronger. Thank you.
Okay, next. Honey, should you?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Haish. I'm one of the coaches at Score Campus. So I've been coaching at Score Campus for about 4 months. Prior to that, I've been giving a lot of tuition and things like that. So yeah, no prior education experiences beyond the tuitioning that I've been given.
So next, anyone volunteer?
I'll go. Before anyone.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. Okay.
Okay, my name is Rahul Dave. You can call me Dave. I've been an educator for the past 4 years in Score Campus. So fresh grad out of a degree called Marketing Management. If you ask me what I learned, I really don't know what I learned. But something that I'm going to boast about is I'm a best child anyone can ask for. So that's why I'm in the education business. You can ask my mom.
All right. Okay, thank you. Robert? Yeah.
Yes, hello. I'm a former educational leader, so principal and that sort of thing, and I worked in many different countries, and now I'm sort of running things to help schools to transform themselves from being normal schools to being like learning organizations which can help children to become holistic learners rather than just train them as students. And so, but specifically within systems, within the system they're in already. So I'm not setting up new schools like Score Campus where wonderful things happen. I'm trying to make it happen in state schools.
Okay, so I just get a note from the host that we will what's gonna happen today is like now it's like we gonna be separated into a room, a few rooms. So we're gonna it's actually we need to discuss a distress call first. Correct, Gabriel? Hi, Hadi? Yep. Okay. So what happens now is like we need to find out 3 issues that we face today in what we're facing today. So it will be interesting if you can relate to our topic today, the craziest things parents say. I mean, like if anyone can pull out one key distress call, what is the craziest things parents say? Should we talk about what
parents are pushing their kids to be part of the rat race.
To be part of? Sorry?
The rat race. So like pressurizing their kids to, be part of the competition in academics.
So the war between parents and teachers. Should we also say that because this is something that I feel that when I was a kid, my mom sent me to school. Okay, every day she drove me to school. So she always used her scare tactic. So you need to study very well. If not, you're gonna end up working in a factory, just sweeping the floor, be a janitor, and so. So my right and there answer for her is like, are you going to send me to work? That's on. So I mean, like as I grew up, I noticed that actually, parents do use so much of scare tactic for their children. So I guess it should be changed. I mean, like that's one thing that we as a parents need to we as an educator also should have some do some social emotional learning in school, so to see things better. Because as I grew up, I saw that engineer also work in factories. Some people who's a janitor could not have the same opportunity like us. I mean, like perhaps they don't have money to study. So what's the distress call that we can take? So one is parents are pushing their kids to be part of the rat race. Okay. And scare tactic is number 2. Okay. The third one.
Yeah, hello everyone. I would add also the comparisons. Usually the craziest things from parents that I hear are related to comparisons of the siblings, or even comparisons of themselves against their children. What if it was you, if it was I, if it was your sister or your brother. So these things, and then some of the craziest things are also related to not really understanding their children to the core. Some misunderstandings happen because parents don't really realize who their children are. They don't know their kids.
Okay, so parents, so we can see that it's a comparison between children, right? Okay, so
and even themselves, comparisons between generations, Azura, sometimes.
Yeah, generation, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we call it the first as parents pushing their kids to be part of rat race. That's number 1, distress call number 1. Number 2 is scare tactic that the parents use. And then the third one is a comparison between children. Okay, so we're gonna discuss. We're gonna be.
Can I add in something if you don't mind?
Yep.
Can the third one be what Musa suggested? What is the true goal of education? Can that be the third one?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's
so
is everyone agree?
Hi, is that okay? Can you type the 3? Can you type the 3 and the
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So parents are pushing their kids to be part of rat race. Second is scare tactic. Okay. And the third one is, I'm waiting for Hani to type. What is the true goal of education? Okay, so we have 3 issues. We're gonna do the discussion now. So Hai is gonna put us in a breakout room. So we first discuss the first issues, and then we get it back. She's gonna put us in a random room. Second topic, second issues, and then there goes the third topic. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so for each of the topics, you have 5 minutes to discuss, and then after that, we will come back and then we will reshuffle you for the next rooms.
All right.
Okay, bye. George, are you able to go into any room?
That we get for the what's the first one just now? The red yeah. I need anyone?
I think for the red race, I was just sharing in my group that a lot of the experience that I have when it comes to parents, it really looks as if, right, the parents are pulling the kids in the rat race. So you imagine, like, okay, I don't know, like, is it literally a rat race? So like, think of it as a literal rat race. If the parents are pulling the kids and the kids are just dragging themselves, it's like, oh my god, I'm just part of this rat race and all that. Whereas I always prefer each kid taking the race by themselves, not racing with other people, but just racing against their past self. You know, and parents are from the outside, just watching and cheering them on. Oh my god, I just thought of that. Like, I just thought of that. And then,
Dave, you are talking from a perception from a guy who doesn't have a kid, you know? But okay, I'm sure that when you have a kid, you don't want the best, and you don't want your kids to be Okay.
I will never come from a parent perspective, but I'm a child myself, so I always come from that perspective.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually, of course, when I have a child, it's a different perspective. And then I have to tell myself that I'm wrong. I have to tell myself that, oh, you know what, I'm also a parent like that and all that. So that's feedback, isn't it?
Yeah. Because because I experienced both, you know, as an educator myself. Okay, I won't do this to my kids. But then when I can see that when she drifts off, I was like, okay, I need to do something. You know, how do I control? So, yeah. I asked for her forgiveness for a lot of time, but normally I will explain. I explain and be as wise as I can, because you know our kids come from us, but not us. You know, they don't have our thoughts. They are their own humans, but they just need a proper direction. So the way you talk to them is like, you really need to think about it. Yeah. Any other ones? Any other?
I think,
want to share about
it seems. Yeah, I think it just occurred to me then, as you were saying that, it seems to me that we have an education system. I mean, there are many different systems, but they're pretty similar around the world, that we don't trust. We don't trust our education system to bring out the best in our children.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, we have to push them to do their best in this very linear system that we've got, the system of doing exams, which is quite unnatural. The schools are not bringing out and developing the best in kids, because if they did that, then the kids would do well at exams. You know, if you bring out the best as a learner, then you can apply that to exams, but you can also apply it to life. And so I think people deep down, they know they don't trust the system to do the best for their kids. And they also don't know how to do their best for the kids in many cases as well. You know, to be honest, you don't get a handbook telling you how to be a good parent, do you? So,
I guess I would like to share about what I told my group over here just now. That I think is the ABC of the child rearing itself. How we raise our kids. So is the first is like antecedents, behavior, and the consequence. Like for example, antecedent refer to how you ask our child. So let's say that we ask them to clean his room. So that leads to the behavior. He should know how to clean his room, and then the consequence of it. So it's the three things. It's the same simple thing. It should go to the education itself. So they should know what to do. We are not like forcing them to learn, but they should know to learn by themselves. Am I right? Anyone?
Yeah, Azura, can I add to what you said?
Yeah.
We always try to set some rules, and it was also like audible in all the discussions. But for me, I guess it's better to create the culture where parents, students, and all stakeholders, also the school administration, teachers, could co-create something, could collaborate together, and come up with some model that would work for the community the best. It's not always about some set of rules. It's about creating something that would work for all, listening to everyone, taking the feedback from everyone, and coming up with something really effective for everyone, where parents know what teachers are doing, where students know what teachers are doing, where teachers know what students want to do. It's something that is happening when we are creating together. Yes, this buzzword, co-creating, co-designing.
Yeah. Okay, so we.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, because we often do not have a shared vision with the school. School has their own vision. Parents have their own vision. Because when it's different, we pull the child in different directions. So, yeah, I agree. If the school can even engage the stakeholders like parents, educators, and child coming together, create our shared goal of what we want to achieve as a community. Then everybody will be playing the same game, right? We will be on the same track. Yeah, that will be so much better.
All right, so should we move to the second one? There's the scare tactic. What are the thoughts coming up from the scare tactic? How should we stop this? What's the solution? Perhaps not stopping, but what's the solution that we can think of?
My favorite solution always is stop and think. Gabriel probably could relate, yeah? So scaring is always the easiest way to get some result. We don't really think of the result that, okay, if my kid is really, if he or she agrees with me or not, but the reaction will be there. Some result will be there if I will scare him or her. But if we will just try to imagine maybe ourselves on the place of our children, we would think maybe in a different way. So I always try to reflect, to see how my kids would feel, how my students would feel, how the kids who I talk to would feel if I would scare them. So scaring actually normally doesn't bring any positive results. It brings results, yes, we get something, but it is never positive. It's just the reaction for shouting or for punishment and nothing more. There is no next step. There is dead end. So the solution is to focus on what could be the next step. And when we are trying to maybe to give out something that we feel bad in a moment to our children, we should think like, what could be the next? What is the next step?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think when it comes to scare tactics, I think there are certain rules in parenting. First of all, you are never right, and we have to admit that we are never right, and we also have to think that maybe we are never wrong as well. So there's too large a space that is the operating space. And I've always felt that I was a cool dad. I've always felt that. I don't push my kids for results, this and everything. And I played basketball with my son almost every day. And here I am, because my son, I think he wanted to give me that feedback, but I think he didn't know how to. Until 4 years ago, when he was 13 years old, I went to a game of his. And he was playing, and then every single time he would make a shot or miss a shot, he would look at me. And then that was the first time I started feeling as if, oh my goodness, he's got this, he needs my approval for doing anything. And then right at the end of the game, he came up to me and he said, "Daddy, is it okay if you don't come for future games? Because it is very stressful." Yes, it broke my heart. It broke my heart into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
But I had to listen to that. So that anytime we think that we are cool and anytime we think that we are doing something right, drop that thought, because it's most probably not right and it's most probably not cool.
You know what the kids need, I guess, is trust. They need the trust from us. That's the most important thing, trust.
They just need us to be their fathers. They need us to be their mothers. They don't need anything more than that.
Yeah. Okay, so discuss call number 3. What was the true goal of education? I guess Katrina would share her. I like her thoughts on this. You know, Katrina, can you share the one that we discussed in the room just now?
Yeah, I wish I can remember all what I said. But I'm trying to recall this. Okay. I was talking about that, due to our own backgrounds, cultural, religious, maybe some just our communities, when we grew up, when we were raised, when we moved to shifted, transferred, we see the education as something that should happen on its own. Yes, there is a system. We should conform to this system, and everything will be fine. We will get grades. We will go to work. Now we need to understand that time changed, and the pandemic helped us a lot to understand that things don't work in real life as we are being taught in schools. You know, there is nothing like being the best, putting our ego in the first place. When we go and work, we normally work in teams. Yes, and school should empower children. School should empower parents and children, everyone in the system, to bring not only the best, you know, to know what to do with yourself after school. This is what is important. So for me, the main goal of education is empowerment and enlightening, you know, throwing as much light as we can on talents, on creativity outputs, on something that we could do in different way without being judged. So this is how I see the main goal of education as of now.
Yep. Yeah, empowerment is the word. All right, so I guess like we need to wrap up this the discussion side. So because I need to welcome our superhero enabler of the day, Mr. Rahul Dave. Okay, so oh my God, this young fella. All right, he's been sharing a lot of thought-provoking. So because I've been following his social media, so I know young people like him, you know, who's really keen on changing education world. So to think about it, that's what we are trying to do. Okay, Dave is a product of Singapore education system, and well, excuse my early childhood educational empathetic self. I'm sorry that to read that he grew up in a troubled childhood and always found himself at the bottom of the class. Without that as a guidance, he managed to break through all the tough walls and graduated with a degree in marketing management from University of Western Australia. Okay, Dave is a part of Core Campus team and has been actively working with over 1,000 students in life coaching. So yeah, we would like to hear about what make you coaching. I mean, like you don't have any education, you know, and then how did you do that? You know, what made you okay? Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the introduction. I didn't know it was going to be a detailed introduction, but yeah, if all those that want to find out a bit about my life, you can just drop me a call and we can always have a conversation and all that. Yeah, as Azura has said, born and raised in Singapore. When people look at me from the outside, they look at my results and all that, they'll probably say that I just failed under the system. And there are a few things that happened in my life that really made me passionate towards education. One of the first experience I had which was very positive, was during my O-level year. I was 17 years old, and it was the most important year for my exams. And I had 4 teachers that came together. They called my mom and said that, you know what, your son has a huge amount of potential and he's just lazy. And we need to figure out how to do that. So when they called my mom, the first thing they told my mom is, you just need to be a support structure. Don't need to do anything. He doesn't need tuition. He doesn't need anything. He just needs to have a proper routine and all that. And when they spoke to me, we discussed on what routine would be great for me. So this routine was amazing. It's like, really, it's something I'm telling my students as well. This is really important. Knowing that it's your responsibility and all that. Eventually, when I did well for my O level, when I went to Polytechnic, when I did my diploma, I kind of lost that guidance. I fall into the trap of me being on a bus to nowhere. So I did my diploma in mechanical engineering, but the reason why I went there was because my friends went there. That's it. Not because of passion. Yeah, not because passion already. Not because of the passion. It's because my friends are there and I want to have fun. So that's why I went there. So I completely messed up my diploma. And then I went to the army for 2 years, and then I told myself that I wanted to get out of the country, and I went to Australia for 3 years. Again, in a very light mood. I'm going to go to Australia. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to party. I'm going to work there eventually, thinking that life is going to be that easy. In my 3 years is where I grew up a lot. I met a lot of people, and then I told myself that, you know what? Okay, I think I like Australia. I'm going to live here. And then I always wanted to work with people, especially kids, but I wanted to put everything on hold because I had an 8 to 5 job in Australia at Ernst & Young. But my first few days at that job, sitting down in front of a computer for 8 hours straight, looking at numbers, and I didn't like that. And I told myself, you know what? Let me take the leap of faith. So that's when I called my uncle. So Gabriel is my uncle, and I said that, hey, let's do this thing, because I'm passionate. Let's start from a young age rather than me procrastinating and all that. And then my first year task was basically I was in India for 1 year, which I didn't expect. And that's when it was an amazing learning curve, good and bad. I saw the toughest parents over there, parents who just refused to listen to me. They basically say stuff like, you are not a parent, what do you know, and all that. And I say something along the lines of, firstly, if I wanted your business, right, I will do whatever it takes to, please you and get you to enroll. But at the core of my heart, right, I'm a coach. And for me, if you want to doubt my age, by all means, go ahead. But of course, I didn't wake up planning to insult you as a parent. So there's one particular parent incident that the whole day I was coaching the child, and the child was an amazing kid, He really was, it looked as if, right, he was unleashed from his cage of funness, and he was just running all over the place. He was having fun, he was having conversations and all that. Now I looked at me, I was like, oh my God, like, you are such an amazing conversationalist. Are you like that in school, at home? And he said, oh no, because at home he's just cannot. The mom is not really in the picture, it's mainly his dad. He told me everything by his dad. He said that I hate my dad. He doesn't allow me to do this. He wakes me up at 4 a.m. for tuition, and then I come back from his tuition and all that. My only fun is in school, but in school I'm not allowed to talk a lot. So when I come here, it's quite a fun environment. And I asked him again, like, tell me more about your relationship with your dad. He said that his dad treats him like the sergeant and the man, kind of the military mode on. And he said, he said that he hates his dad. And that is very, very strong. Especially someone that is raising you, you saying that you hate the person is quite strong. And I told myself, you know what? Let me have a conversation with your dad. Let me see his perspective. I think that's fair. And then I was doing a parent debrief, and the parent debrief was a combined debrief. And this was very personal. So I cannot tell in front of everyone that, your son said that he hates you. So I was just basically giving them a debrief for the entire day of what we did. And later I will go into one-on-one conversation. So the dad came in, he sat down, he said, oh, tell me what you did today. So he was asking me. And I said that, we basically did this. He said, oh, no. You said you tell me what my son said. You tell me what my son said. So I said, can we have this for a private conversation? And I said, no, I paid you today. You tell me what he said. So I said, I don't think I'm in a position to tell in front of everyone. Can I speak to you privately? He said, he kept repeating, no, you tell me and all that. And I said, basically your son said he hates you. And I'm like, and then he went like, he said, okay, so you're telling me that, okay, Ken, okay. So thanks for the feedback, I'll go back. I'm like, I haven't finished yet. He said, no, that's okay, that's enough. And then he just walked out with the other parents there, and they all looked at me, they were like, they were shocked. And when he walked out, he just walked out of the campus, and then the sun came down, and then the son said to me like, oh, it's very nice to meet you. I wish I can come here again. And I looked at him, I'm like, I only can wish you can come back. And that was my biggest, my first parent moment, you know. Other parents I've given feedback and they really take it well. And even all those that don't take it so well, they don't end up reacting that way. But that was one of my craziest moments. And that was my first year in coaching, you know. And after that, I thought to myself that you know, I never want to hear a child saying, I hate my parents and all that. You know, I don't want to be on the kid's side. I don't want to be on the parent side. I want to be on the side whereby what's best for the kid and how can we work together. So I do have a few other experiences in that. And yes, thought-provoking is one thing. I do like that. But for me, when I speak to parents, I only want the best for the kids. At the same time, I just want parents to enjoy being parents and all that. Let me do the tough job of the English, math, science, and the character development part. So that's my little background and an experience I went through.
Yeah, and I really like, what I really like about School Campus is actually because you guys didn't call yourself as an educator, more about like coaching. This is like so interesting, you know, because you don't educate, you coach. When you coach, it's like, it's not really on the education itself. You coach into a lifelong journey kind of thing. So a life lesson, things like that. So yeah, I mean, like, any question for Dave, or should we just discuss? I mean, Gabriel, how do we go from here? I'm just like,
I think one thing we can do, right, is, I mean, I think Azura brought it up because there are parents and there are non-parents. Maybe from parent point of view, maybe you can share some of your thoughts about maybe some experiences that you feel that, oh man, I think I did this wrong and all that.
I guess it's the trust. I need to let go myself as a mom. I mean, of course, we want the best. I always want the best for my daughter, but I need to trust her, and I need to trust her that I need to trust myself that I've raised her well to make a good decision. So basically, the main point is the trust. I need to trust her, and I need to trust myself that I've given and I've polished her, or I already like do
mold
something. Mold her. I need to trust myself that I've mold her. So because even until now, even like for my daughter, I mean, like, okay, this is the thing, what's gonna happen. If you choose A, this is what's gonna happen. B, this is what's gonna happen. So you choose for yourself. And she need to be okay if she choose A or if she choose B. So I guess trust is the main thing. As a parent, you need to give them a trust. Yeah.
Anyone has crazy parent experiences before?
Yeah, for me, I have. I've been teaching for 10 years now, so many experiences with different parents. But one that quite sad for me was that she has a child, and she literally do not know what to do with the child because the child doesn't want to study, doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to do homework. And as a parent, she's at her wit's end, right? And she's just kind of like begging the teachers, like, can you do something to my daughter? Can you help her change her ways? And, you know, as a teacher, I wish I had more power to do something, but unfortunately, because we're not at her house, we cannot interact with her as much as she as a parent, right? So we also kind of stuck in that sense. But I guess what I would probably do if I have another chance is to really, sit down with her and go through with her some routines that, she can set up for a child, and really, just let her know that as your mother, I'm really there for you. That right now it saddens me because your behavior is not correct, and let's do together how can we change the current situation and environment. So yeah, it is very sad, but the reality is, some parents are really at their wit's end. They really don't know what to do.
I mean, like, some parents issue is one thing. I mean, like, the kids themselves is also one thing. I mean, like, some kids who doesn't have any motivation or any inspiration to go further. I mean, like I said like earlier, that my mom said that if you're not studying well, you're gonna end up working in the factory. But how do I shape myself, seeing things that, hey, engineer also work in the factory. You know, some people doesn't have any opportunity, doesn't have money to go and further their studies, so they end up sweeping the floor, you know, that kind of thing. So I guess it's the upbringing. I mean, like who we mingle with, that play a role also in education, so in coaching, in life coaching, perhaps, I mean, like in raising kids in a proper way. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So
I'll share a story that happened about 3 years ago. Actually, not 3 years ago. Matter of fact, I think it's 6 or 7 years ago. I was sitting down in my campus, and a parent walked in, and the child looked as if the boy, at that point, he was 11 or 12 years old. He looked as if he's in a state of depression. You can see his eyes is all dark and everything like that. And the mom came in, and then she said, "Oh, is this for campus? Can I speak to one of you guys?" I say, "Yeah, you can speak to me." And then she said, "I just want to let you know that I need my son to go to Raffles Institution, and he is getting 95 average right now, but he's still not the highest in class. What can you do to get him to with the 98 to 100 region?" And then I looked at her and I said, there's only one reason you should come here, and that is for your son to start smiling again. And if you don't want that, and that is not important to you, it is okay for his dark eyes to remain there for the rest of his life. There are tuition centers to the left and right, you know, but 95 is not an acceptable score in Singapore, you know, and that is for me was the craziest stuff. And one more that I heard was a parent. This was in India. A parent had already enrolled a son, and then they told both Dave and me, "It's like, oh, tomorrow he'll be here at 4:00." And then we were like, "Okay, fine." Then we went back home. At 3:45 a.m. in the morning, he called us and he said, "The son is waiting outside the campus. How come nobody is there?" Because he thought it was 4 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, and I think Robert will know all these stories because he works in India quite a bit, you know, and see, these are, and for me personally, why I believe in coaching is because what I've been trying to tell educators is, if you are an engineer and you are given a task of making the Mercedes-Benz car, the next car, you are in charge. You are the man or you are the woman. In education, there is no such thing. We are, as educators, we just don't have the power. Mm-hmm. We have to listen to way too many people. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to listen to my principal, my HOD, the parent, the paymaster, everybody must listen. So what we at Score Campus, one of the rule of thumb when anybody wants to join Score Campus is like, you are in charge. Now, of course, that comes with certain risk as well. If you are in charge, you've got responsibilities, you know, and but the thing is, that's what we always tell them. Here, there's nobody to report to. You don't work for Score Campus, you don't work for me, you work for that kid. If that kid is unhappy, I come after you. If that kid is getting depressed, I will also come after you. You know, so there are ways to empower our coaches as well. But unfortunately, we all belong to a system where syllabus is put on top, and then curriculum is put on top, and then lesson plans are put on top, and then the student is never number one. Everything else is number one. You know, so I think these are some of the crazy things that parents can say, and we all have become victims of it. And what we have to do right now is come up with solutions that we can practice, you know, and start sharing the data of whatever we have practiced, you know, and that's really what we are going towards.
Okay, so that's why I guess like the next sessions would be the goal of education itself, correct? The topic will be that, Gabriel?
Sorry, yes, ma'am. I thought we should start going in a direction where we take it a bit more serious. And I thought the goal of education is an extremely interesting topic. Yeah. Thank you, Musa, for coming up with that. So therefore, you are the guest. And Robert is a person who I've known for a very, very short time. But when I see Robert, I see passion. That's what I see. And I see a great set of hair as well, a little jealous. But anyways, but we are going towards a direction whereby Okay, let's set rules for the next. Let's make it very difficult for Robert, shall we? But we all have to play a role as well. We all have to play a role as well. We all have to increase this size by 3 times. So let's aim for 36 people to be here the next time. Okay, let's aim for 36 people. That means we all have to invite. We all have to invite. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is we will try our best, as long as connection is good, to have all videos on. Okay, that is rule number 2. Everybody can have a cup of coffee in their hand. And rule number 3 is the engagement of everybody has to be a lot more.
Yeah.
Right. I think it is always the same few 5 or 6 people who are talking, and then the remainder of us go silent. I think the engagement has to be a lot better. So we will all facilitate that entire process. So we will make it very difficult for Robert. So remember, he is the guest host. All cameras must be on, and we have to have 36 people here. Let's start growing. And another thing that we want to do is, through the group chat that we have, through the WhatsApp chat we have, you can all start suggesting what we want to learn from each other. Like, I am sure you have done so much with the work you have done, and you have a lot of things to share. And so has Robert, and so has Dave, and everything. And we all, I think some of you know that we all have planned a workshop together in January next year. But that's January. Now it's only May. So there are things that we can teach each other. If you want to learn more about blended learning, if anybody wants to know about independent learning, flipped classroom, and all these things, we can start arranging those every 2 weeks. We don't have to talk about this topic today, the craziest things parents can say. I think we can do 4 episodes on that if we really put our minds to it.
Yes, yeah.
It's like,
it's a more structured version of the sessions.
It'll be like a Korean drama serial from season 1 to season 4. There are a lot of us here, so we can also share through the group chat. And are there any topics that anybody is any burning desire that I want to learn something like that? Is anybody have a topic in their minds? And I also think, sorry, I'll come to you in a minute before I forget. I also think it's about time we do a project together for students. If we can do a project together in this extremely messy world right now, I think it'll be good for students, good for parents as well. Sorry, Dave. Yes, you go ahead.
I forgot. What should be an ideal routine for kids?
Okay. That's a very, very, very good thought process. Yeah. What time should they wake up, and what time should they sleep, and what should they do in between?
Now you are controlling a kid. we talk about that. You see? Right. All right. So should we wrap up now? I'm waiting for the update for the next 2 weeks. So amazing session as always. I love you guys because the start section is really wonderful. Okay. So thanks from me. Looking forward to Robert and Musa's session next 2 weeks. Yeah, and then Eid Mubarak to Katrina and whoever celebrating tomorrow. Okay, so see you guys.
Happy Hari Raya.
All right. Okay, bye.
Okay, but I will take a picture.
Let's take a picture.
Alright, take a picture.
Everybody's camera on, please don't mind, just for 5 seconds. We'll take a group picture together.
Yeah, hi Dinora. She's my colleague.
Ira is still not on camera yet. Nelson not on camera. Ira on camera. Nelson will give him 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can take a picture like that.
All right.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good.
Okay,
Happy
guys.
Hari Raya, guys.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.